Hi, I'm Bianca Silderzano. Welcome to Eye to Eye. Katie Kirk is on assignment. A new CBS News poll shows John Edwards is running a distant third in the Democratic presidential race behind Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. But Edwards and his wife Elizabeth continue to campaign hard in Iowa. Tracy Smith caught up with them.
I want to talk Iowa for just a second. There are some polls that show that you're losing your lead in Iowa. Since you've spent so much time here, shouldn't you be way far ahead at this point?
I think the polls have all been about the same from the very beginning. The vast majority of them show me with a lead, but it's very competitive. And I think what's more important than these polls right now is who is talking about the issues that all these people in Iowa, the caucus goers, care about. Who has a clear plan for universal health care, for ending the war in Iraq, for dealing with the economic inequality in this country. I know, because I've been through this, when they get around to making decisions, they're going to be looking, number one, for who has the substance, the details, and who's ready to be president. And second, who can win the general election.
What if you don't win the Iowa caucus? Can your campaign go on?
I think that question applies to every campaign. Iowa's the first place we come. John Kerry won the nomination in 2004 by winning the Iowa caucus.
But you specifically, what do you do if you
But
don't
there's
win?
no difference between me and the others in this regard.
I know, but I'm sitting with you.
I think it's important to win the Iowa caucus or to be very competitive in the Iowa caucus. I think that applies to me. It applies to Senator Clinton. It applies to Senator Obama. Let's look at this. Let's look at what's happening. I am ahead in Iowa, but it's very close. Senator Obama's been advertising on television for weeks. Senator Clinton is now on television. I have not bought any television advertising, and there's a reason for that. I think at this stage, what Iowa caucus goers want to see is they want to see the depth, the maturity, and the specifics, whether those things indicate you're ready to be president. I've been through this. I'm seasoned at this process. I know what it takes, and I feel very confident about Iowa. But it'll be tough. There'll be a struggle and a death match that goes on in Iowa.
Let's talk Iraq, because today was the day that you were talking Iraq as you went around Iowa. How long should U.S. forces be there? If you were president, how long would you keep them there?
9 to 10 months. Additionally, beyond where we are
And then
right
take
now.
them all out?
All the combat troops out, yes.
And leave a small force? Am I understanding that right?
Well, unless we're going to take our embassy out of Baghdad, which I wouldn't do as president, you're going to have some small force there to protect the embassy. There are a number of things we need to do. As we start to draw troops down, there's a really serious political issue, which is how do you get the Sunni and the Shia to try to reach some compromise. An intense effort needs to be made to do that. We've got to get the Iranians and the Syrians and other countries in the region involved in helping stabilize Iraq as we leave. And we do have to maintain a presence in the region. If I were president, I would keep a rapid deployment force in Kuwait, probably increase our strength in Afghanistan. Maybe, if we had stationing rights, put some troops in Jordan, and I'd keep a naval presence in the Persian Gulf.
You've been out front on a number of these issues. A lot of people are saying that this is a different John Edwards than 4 years ago, maybe a little more outspoken. People are certainly saying this is a different Elizabeth Edwards than 4 years ago. I've heard the word blunt used a lot. Has the cancer diagnosis had an effect on that? Do you feel a sense of urgency?
No, I think that honestly, this is how I've talked my whole life. Blunt has always been used to describe me.
Trust me.
More so?
But the truth of the matter is, I think that maybe because of the cancer diagnosis, maybe because John was the vice presidential nominee in 2004, maybe because I wrote a book, whatever, I've gotten more coverage. So I might have somebody covering me in an event when I didn't before. And so you're just hearing me for the first time. It wasn't that I wasn't saying these things. I've always been. I consider an obligation of trying to have your family be in public service, that you're completely honest in your responses. You try to answer the question, and you're as honest as you possibly can be.
And you say what you think. And you've actually gone out of your way in some cases. That call about Ann Coulter, the very famous call. Right. Did you two discuss that ahead of time?
No.
No?
No.
I found out about it.
A surprise?
Yeah.
I was surprised, but I was proud of her. I think standing up against hate mongering is a good idea.